Hi, I'm Karen. I'm the maths mum. Some of you may recognise me from the PADSPod that I did earlier this year on maths and Down syndrome. At the end of that, I mentioned a project called Maths for Life, and I'd like to update you on what's been happening. The Maths for Life, not GCSE, is an initiative by me, the maths mum, to create a differentiated curriculum for children and young adults with learning difficulties that provides them the math skills that they need for life, not necessarily for GCSE. I have 3 boys. My middle son Lance is 8 years old and he is just started year 4 at mainstream school. It was this time last year his teaching assistant approached me and asked for help looking at a pathway for his maths learning. She knew of my involvement with the maths mum and the school previous, and I took it upon myself to look at things and look at the curriculum and differentiate it for him and his best friend Ella, who also attends the school. This started the ball rolling with regard to this idea of maths for life, looking at what skills that they need to build solid foundations on, which allow them to add to and build up their knowledge base for life. Obviously, last year didn't work out as planned for a lot of us, and actually what happened in lockdown prompted me as the maths mum to look again at this project. I think I was encouraged, or motivated probably is the right word, by the lack of support for parents of children with SEN during lockdown that was forthcoming, to actually say, when I was speaking to people and giving advice, they were asking, have you got this written down somewhere? And I hadn't. So in July, I took time and space, largely at 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. most mornings, and I wrote everything that I could pull together. From books, reference books that are all behind me, through my knowledge, through my understanding of learning difficulties and my understanding of working with Lance. And I built up a picture and a proposed path that I went out to a focus group. I asked a number of parents, teaching assistants, teachers, and indeed children with Down syndrome to form part of my focus group. I proposed a path and sent them the documents to have a read and a try. When we convened, the focus group were overwhelmingly positive about this approach. There were massive gaps in it that I needed to fill, but the overall concept was given a big thumbs up. Following the initial feedback of the focus group, I spent time developing and making sure all the gaps were filled so that there was a programme that would take parents, teachers and TAs from birth in maths understanding through to functional skills entry level 1, which is a government set alternative qualification to GCSE. It's not the equivalent of GCSE. There are 5 levels in it: entry level 1, 2 and 3, and then level 1 and level 2. The final stage, the 5th level of functional skills, is the equivalent to a GCSE. But this path is a solid path that delivers maths for life skills and solid foundations. And once I sketched all of it together, I again went back out to the focus group and they gave the thumbs up. And what then happened was there was an urgency to try and get something published and out there before schools returned in September. So I was deeply proud of myself that by mid-August I was able to produce this, which is a 190 page. Best way to describe it is a maths textbook, but it brings parents, teachers and teaching assistants all together into a path that goes from birth and explains everything and the reasons why we do everything. I've self-published it and it is available through my website, themathsmum.co.uk, to purchase. And obviously every purchase is funding me to continue the work to support it. So I'm available to support via Zoom calls, and indeed I have got now a subscription-based service on my website to deliver workbooks, resources, templates for people to use to support this programme of work. I was delighted that my first print run was sold out within 2 days. Thank you all those who have supported me. and believe in me. And what I'm delighted now to say is what I'm seeing is schools purchasing it directly. So thank you to all those parents who brought it into schools and showed them. We are now starting to see traction. And what is brilliant about this is it does give the pathway. It brings everything together for our children, and the earlier we can get involved in it, the better. But as an aid to finding out and a diagnostic tool, what I'm delighted is there are parents coming back to me with older children who are 15, 16, even as old as 23, who are using it as a diagnostic tool to find out where the gaps in the learning are. So I'm delighted with the response. The only negative response I have received is I could have done with this 10 years ago, and I'm sorry I haven't been around 10 years ago to do this. I wish I was, but now that I'm here, I'm not going away. Obviously, Lance is 8. My intention is to stay supporting this project as long as I'm needed, and hopefully that will be within the next year or two a complete programme for schools to follow. So there will be no gaps, and we will all be cohesive in this. It has been written with the Down syndrome community in mind, but the book will refer to learning difficulties because this will apply to other children with learning difficulties as well. I am a great believer in actions and doing. Rather than asking permission, I've gone ahead and done it, and at some point or other we will take it to the government and we will say, this works for us, please support it. I have sent a copy to Boris, but I haven't received any feedback yet from him. But we live in hope. A number of people have reviewed the book and given feedback, but this particular person has struck a chord with me in what she's written, and I hope you don't mind if I read out a paragraph of her review. This is from Claire Harris, who is a senior lecturer at Canterbury Christ Church University. She specialises in teaching trainee teachers about maths in primary school, and she's got a personal research project on dyscalculia. As a text and a suggested curriculum for children and young people with particular learning and developmental challenges, this text identifies the areas of mathematics needed for life and to operate in society. The tone of the text clearly considers the range of potential audiences, parents and teachers, and is one of understanding and empathy in relation to those supporting the young people, but also the learners. From the outset, the key challenges to learning for children with Down syndrome and also with other specific learning needs are discussed, and these provide a clear rationale for the way the curriculum has been designed. The focus is ensuring learning opportunities are practical, relevant, multisensory for children and for young people to engage with the mathematics in a context and make connections with the purpose of the mathematical concepts to enable them to apply these to life. I had to share that because whenever I received that on an email, I did have goosebumps and a certain validation that said what I've done works and will work. And hopefully those people who are supporting me and moving forward will see a benefit with regard to the children moving forward. But this is all about enabling our children. It's getting them to the point where they will have the skills for independent living in the future. They will be able to go and plan a journey, get on a bus, go to a coffee shop when COVID rules apply, meet some friends, and they will be able to budget. They will be able to manage their finances at a level that gives them an independence. But as another mum who has been supporting me throughout this project and indeed pushing me throughout the project, Marie Claire, it also gives a framework for children to be able to achieve a qualification. The functional skills qualification is an existing set of assessments and qualifications that the government have in place. It's designed for the adult community. However, Ofqual have confirmed that the assessments can be modified. They can be modified in context to make them more relevant to a younger learner. And indeed, I'm currently working with one of the largest awarding organisations, Patient EdExcel, to look at how we can support schools through this process of being able to letting them change and modify the assessments to make them more relevant to a younger market. So we have got a way of giving that award, that result that's positive, an achievement, a certificate, a formally recognised qualification for our children that they can achieve. And some of them will be achieving it as early as primary school. So we have a path, we have a curriculum, we have me supporting it, and hopefully when we get more and more people, this will get the ball rolling completely, and maybe we'll see a change in the curriculum overall. Here's hoping. Hope this makes sense. If you've got any questions, you can find me at my website and through this amazing forum of technology. I'm available on Zoom and FaceTime if you have any questions. And do take time to look at the videos on my website, the Maths Mum and Lance Talk Maths, because Lance is also providing some entertainment and insight into how we actually work with the workbooks, with the worksheets, through the video. He loves being on video, and sometimes he doesn't even realise I don't have the video on, but don't tell him that. We all have our tricks. Anyway, if you have any questions, you know where I am. Thank you so much. Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hi, I'm the Maths Mum.
Me. Yes.
You're Lance. Excellent. And we're going to do our maths homework tonight.
Boom.
Okay. We're not going to do that, are we?
Yeah.
No, oops. Right, so our question, we're going to read it. We're going to hold it up to the camera. Yeah? There we go. It says, who has more stars? Stella or Monica? Looking. Who has more stars? Stella or Monica? Looking. Who has more stars? Who has more stars? Stella has more stars, right? Are you going to fill in the box? Stella has more stars. Very good. Number 1, Lance is correct. Stella has more stars.